We're here with head coach Ben Miller previewing Friday and Saturday's McDonald's Basketball Classic in the English Jones Center. Brings in Georgia Southwestern, Southern Wesleyan, and Fayetteville State. Coach, before we talk about that, let's go back to last weekend. Two big wins over Lenore Ryan Catawba in the South Atlantic Conference, Peach Belt Conference Challenge in Salisbury. Two pretty nip and tuck games. Then you were able to pull them both out. What did you take from the weekend, and what will you use moving forward?
Well, we didn't play great basketball for 40 minutes either night, but we did enough things well, especially late in those games. I thought our defensive energy built as the game went on against Lenore Ryan. It was a double overtime game. It could have gone either way. They're a very good team. I think they're going to win a lot of games. But our guys made plays when they needed to, and we kind of pulled away that last overtime. But our defense got better, I felt, as the game went on. Even though we gave up a bunch of threes and way too many open looks from three, especially, actually there was one in the first overtime that tied up again, so that wasn't great. But I think being in a close game and coming out on top, that was something unfortunately we didn't experience a lot last year in those overtime games, so that was a real positive.
Let's talk about it. You got a pretty experienced team on the court and showing up at least in one category on the stat sheet. You're taking care of the ball very well. Under 10 turnovers in each of your first two games. What does that say about your team, and how will that help you moving through the season?
Well, we've got a veteran backcourt that starts the game, and other than Watts, obviously he's a freshman, but at the 1 and the 2 spots, having him and Kashin, who's been with us, so that's going to help a lot, and it's really going to be tested on Friday because Fayetteville State's a great defensive team. They really pressure you full court and half court as well, so it's going to really test our ball handling.
Let's talk about Brandon Watts. Although just a freshman, he was named Peach Belt Conference Player of the Week on Monday, averaged 30 points, 6 rebounds, 2.5 assists in 2 games in Salisbury. Talk about his progression as a player and what kind of potential he has for your team.
Well, it's a pretty good start for a freshman to come out and do that his first 2 games. But he's played a lot of basketball, so even though he's young in age, he's had a lot of experience, growing up around his father, who was a really good college player. Brandon's mature as a basketball player. He's still got a lot to learn. He's still getting stronger. He's still going to have his freshman moments. So I think our fans need to understand and be patient with that. But his effort has been pretty consistent, and he's a confident young man.
Let's talk about Fayetteville State. You bring a 4-game winning streak into this game, but it really games that could go either way. You have some really tight games with them. You already talked about their ability to cause turnovers. What else do you know about Fayetteville State? What other kind of challenges will they present to you?
Very well coached. Coach Key's done a great job with that program. They had a great season, and they've got a lot of very good players returning. So it's going to be a great test. I think it's a rival game, in-region game, and so. They present a lot of challenges. They're very balanced scoring, very well coached, defense, rebounding. They do a lot of things very well. They share the ball, execute. So we'll have our hands full on Friday.
Let's talk about Southern Wesleyan. In transition from NAIA to Division II, they eventually become a member of Conference Carolinas. What do you know about them? I know they come in 0-2, but they're probably much better than the record.
Oh yeah, they'll have a good program. Honestly, I've really focused mostly at this point on Fayetteville State, and I know our staff is working ahead a little bit. They have to for Southern Wesleyan, but I think their program has a chance to have a very good season. So I feel like we got a great field with Fayetteville State, Southern Wesleyan, and Georgia Southwestern coming up for the McDonald's Classic. I think our fans are going to see some great basketball this weekend.
Let's talk about our fans. One last question. They seem to turn out in droves for your games. Talk about the experience of playing in the Jones Center. It's become a much stronger environment over the last 3-4 years.
Yeah, our fans have been great. The students, the community have really come out to support the team. Even last year when we were having our struggles in the win column in league play, they still were out there supporting us. So it means a lot to me personally and our players. Gives you that extra energy down the stretch when you're trying to get that extra defensive stop. So hopefully we'll have some great crowds this weekend.